Bonsoir à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Bienvenue à cette session où on ose ouvrir les frontières, pousser les frontières de l'international. Donc nous allons parler du storytelling et devenir un leadership grâce au storytelling. Donc merci de votre présence chacune et chacun. Ce soir, je voudrais également remercier John qui organise cette session et l'ensemble des organisateurs de la Convention nationale de la Jeune Chambre économique française. Ce soir, mon premier souhait, c'est que chacun d'entre vous puisse prendre plaisir. Et en effet, on est dans une situation exceptionnelle, donc atelier exceptionnel. Pour l'instant, on se voit qu'en visio, mais j'espère qu'on se retrouvera vite à Nice, par exemple, lors de notre congrès national qui sera bilingue. Je vais laisser la parole tout de suite à John. Donc John, c'est à toi. Un grand merci à vous. Et dernière information pour les participants qui sont de la Jeune Chambre économique française, suivez bien jusqu'au bout de la session. Il y a des indices pour vous qui seront disponibles à la fin de cette session. Merci à tous et très bon atelier.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to this session. And welcome to this session, which is going to open the borders and push the borders back. I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank John, who you will see next. And I would like to wish, I would like to wish, and my wish for this session is, this exceptional session, is that we can open up all of our expression. We can open up our chances to have an exchange, and we can open up our chances to to enjoy. Okay, sorry. And just a quick reminder that we will all be in Nice, and and at the end of this session, this is a point for our French listeners, there will be some clues right at the end of this session. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir tout le monde, merci d'être avec nous ce soir. On a une session très spéciale avec 9 personnages illustres et connus de notre mouvement, des présidents GCI, que nous avons le plaisir d'interviewer et préparer des vidéos. C'était un travail très acharné pour préparer ces vidéos, la transcription, la traduction. Je tiens à remercier toute l'équipe qui a œuvré pour rendre ce travail. Marcus avec nous, Julie, Maël, Eric et tout le monde qui fait partie de l'équipe, Samuel. Et j'ai pas envie de dire plus, j'ai juste envie que vous écoutez ces histoires, que vous prenez du plaisir d'être là et que vous restez à la fin pour les questions-réponses avec les présidents, présidents qui seront disponibles.
So thank you very much. This is going to be a truly exceptional session. We will have 9 people who will be our illustrious past presidents, and we have interviewed them. We have transcribed all of their interviews. It's been a really quite a large endeavor for us all to take on, but we've been successful. And I would also like to thank all of the team who have all worked on this project. Thank you.
Merci. L'une des spécificités des présidents mondiaux, c'est les voyages. C'est des leaders qui voyagent énormément, donc pratiquement tous les 3 jours, vous devez changer de pays. Et dans mes voyages, je garde à l'esprit, et vraiment de façon positive, bien que ça a été quand même pénible, c'est ma visite au Mexique. Alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe? J'arrive au Mexique et je me rends compte qu'il n'y a personne à l'aéroport. Et ça, c'est bizarre parce que dans les visites des officiers de la Jeune Chambre, c'est tellement bien organisé. Vous verrez des jeunes avec votre photo, une banderole, peut-être souvent des fleurs, des messages sympathiques pour vous souhaiter la bienvenue. Il n'y a personne. Je me dis, mais qu'est-ce qui se passe? Vous connaissez la réputation de la ville de Mexico. Donc, je rentre à l'intérieur de la salle d'attente et puis j'appelle le secrétaire général du siège mondial. Je dis, ben, il n'y a personne qui m'attend. Et après des recoupements d'informations, je vais attendre à peu près 3-4 heures et les membres du bureau national viendront me chercher. Alors, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé pour que vous compreniez? Il y a eu une erreur dans la transmission, l'interprétation des horaires de vol et des dates de vol. Et ça veut dire que malgré la grandeur et l'expérience de notre mouvement, il peut nous arriver de nous tromper, d'avoir des ratés. Mais face à cette frustration et face à cet obstacle, quelle est l'attitude que le leader doit adopter? Donc, j'ai gardé le sourire, ça je peux vous le dire. J'ai rassuré le bureau national parce qu'il y avait panique et surtout que nous allions vers une ville à l'intérieur pour la Convention nationale 2010 de la Jeune Chambre du Mexique. Et ensuite, il fallait tenir des mots rassurants, il fallait aussi banaliser un peu l'incident, ne pas oublier l'essentiel. L'organisation forme des jeunes à pouvoir créer de l'impact dans leur communauté. Nous sommes un groupe, un mouvement de jeunes bénévoles qui donnent le temps, de l'argent, de l'énergie, bref, tout ce qu'ils ont afin de rendre le monde meilleur. Donc, leçon à tirer, c'est que toujours se rassurer de la planification, vérifier toujours que tout est OK, mais surtout rassurer les membres, même quand nous sommes en difficulté. Donc, voilà une leçon d'humilité, mais surtout aussi une leçon d'organisation et de méthodologie qu'il faut toujours avoir à l'esprit. Même si on est dans le bénévolat, il faut garder un niveau de rigueur, de professionnalisme jamais égalé.
Well, I want to tell you about one experience. We didn't have JCs in the country of Mali, M-A-L-I, at that time, and but we had made some contacts with the university there. And so I'm president. They said, would you like to go there and speak to the group and try to get them to become members of JCI? And I said, sure. I got there at night, and it's a socialist country, and they had very little power, so there was very few lights. It was really, really dark, and I got to a hotel and went to bed, and the next day we had this meeting. And the meeting was with a group of people from the university. And my staff officer that was traveling with me was Denis Tetegan, who was from West Africa also. And he was explaining in French to everybody all the story about JCI and the background, how it was formed. But you could see that there's a little tension starting to develop among the group. And a lady from the French embassy was doing the transcribing in my ear, not transcribing, but interpreting in my ear and trying to explain what was happening. And it just, within a few minutes, it became more tense, more tense. Finally, one of the guys jumped up and he started saying in a very loud voice and pointing, and he was talking to Denis Tetegan. And the lady explained, and then he pointed to me. And finally, so everybody's looking at me, and I don't have any idea what he had just said, but he was asking me to answer a question. And by the time it got translated, well, of course, there's a long delay. And his question was, he said, look, this organization was developed in a capitalist country of the United States. We have nothing in common with the United States. We're a socialist country. So why are you here? Why are you coming to talk about JCs to us? We have nothing in common with capitalism. And I don't want you to explain, I want the president to explain. And so while I'm doing this, I'm leaning over to my right ear to the person doing the translation, and I'm looking up at the same time, and I see there's lights on in the room, and all of a sudden, I got the answer. I stood up, and I pointed to the light, and I said, "You see that light?" Everybody looks up at the light. And I said, that light wasn't invented here. It was invented in a capitalist country. Why do you use it? And then I sat down. They were stunned for a little while, and then they started talking among themselves, and they really started chatting. And finally, the guy stood up again, and he said, and it was translated for me. He said, you know, you make a good point. The point is, if something works, use it. If it doesn't work, don't use it. It doesn't make any difference where it come from or who was the person that's promoting it. It's only if it's good for us. And so therefore, if it's good for our communities, let's use it. If it's not, well, let's not use it. And from then on, we're buddies. That was my whole speech. See the light? It came from a capitalist country. Why do you use it? And so it was really a dramatic scene, and I learned a lot that day. And so it was one of the experiences that I will never forget. There's many, many of them, but that's an experience I will never forget.
Well, in 2006, when I was president, I really wanted to go and support the guys in the Middle East because I helped start Syria and have done a lot of training in Jordan as well. And I wanted to go to Lebanon because those three countries were really doing well. And I wanted to go there and support them. And we scheduled a visit for the beginning of the year. And then suddenly Denmark had an incident with a cartoon of the prophet, which kind of blew up everything that was Danish. And the foreign ministry of Denmark wouldn't allow me to go to the Middle East. So unfortunately, I couldn't go. And then there was a war between Israel and Lebanon, and some incidents there that really had a lot of bombing in Beirut, and the situation was just blowing up. But I really wanted to go there and support them. So what we did was actually taking me to. I was flying into Jordan, and they were taking me from Jordan to Syria, and then from Syria to Lebanon. Right after the war in Lebanon, so I was actually the first person there. And we were, trying to do the best we could to support the organization and really working with the guys on starting new chapters. Because when I was president, I just wanted two things. I thought that what I want is a chapter everywhere. I want to make sure that a young person between the age of 18 and 40 had the opportunity to join the organization. And then I wanted these local chapters and these local organizations to be strong. And so we really wanted to build new organization and empower those who were there. So I really wanted to go. And we had some very, very good examples in the Middle East. We had JCI Syria, who started in 2004, just 2 years before. But they were already more than 200 members in JCI Damascus. They started homes with 150 members. So they were really doing well. And I wanted to go there, both to show them my support, but also to train them and help them grow even further. And then, so we did that, and it was a fantastic visit to that organization. And then we went to Lebanon. And what we did there was trying to challenge ourselves, was really starting chapters where it was needed. In the south of Beirut was Hezbollah area, and as JCI is an organization where we really want to train the leaders of the future, we wanted to start chapters there. We wanted to start chapters in Baalbek, but we really needed to both talk to the right guys and negotiate with the right person so we could actually make that happen. So we had some very strong negotiations. We were traveling there. It was very, very difficult time traveling because there was no, electricity was in and out. And my hotel, there was only me and some peacekeeping force from the United Nations staying there, and no one else was in the city. So it was kind of complicated. But we really made it a good visit. We had opportunities to talk to everyone, from high and low, of ministers of Lebanon, and really trying to grow the organization. But it was tough. And we went to see the bombed areas, and really trying to support the local people there as well. So some great challenges and some great stuff that was really difficult to work through. But we did our best, and thanks to the members there who were really flexible, and we were driving across the border from Syria to Lebanon, and trying to get in that way. So it was really a challenge, almost feeling that we were smuggling through the different areas. So really a challenge, but a good one that really taught me that if you really want to, and you have people, especially those who are dedicated on a local level, everything can happen.
I think I will share with you something that happened to me in 2013 in Panama, because I believe it could be relevant considering the time that the entire world is facing right now. I was invited as a president to launch the active citizenship campaign of JCI Panama in a beautiful hotel in front of the press, but just a few days before the city was hit by the worst fire ever in the country. So I wondered how I could dare young people to act based on the needs of the local community if I don't lead by example. Well, our outstanding area director, which is who is now the JCI Growth and Development Director, Roberto Elias, was so afraid for me, because we couldn't even go on site without wearing masks, as the world learned during this coronavirus pandemic, because there was a waste dump on fire, and so the smoke was toxic, but he knew he couldn't stop me. So I managed to go on site with JCI members, thanks to Angelica, a young and outstanding local president who in less than 24 hours organized our delivery of 600 bags full of masks, foods, and beverages for the local community, which didn't want the help of the government because of political reasons, but they accepted our help because we were volunteers. I personally made the deal from woman to woman with the old lady who was the leader of the local community. And another special touching memory of that moment is that the national president of JCI Panama, who was still recovering from 2 months in a coma in a hospital, went with me on site and spent the entire day with me, helping the local community, despite the fact that he could have had all the possible reasons to stay safe and sound at home. But he decided to dare to act. So, you can call us leaders, active citizens, life entrepreneurs. But at the end of the day, in my humble opinion, JCI members were, are, and I hope will be also in the future, solution providers.
C'était en 1972, à Taipei, je venais d'être élu vice-président, et le 20 novembre, soit le jour suivant mon élection, se tenait le conseil d'administration auquel je participais pour la première fois. Immédiatement, je fus saisi d'une question qui m'a la droite au cœur. Elle émanait du vice-président Bahadur Bosra d'Inde, qui demandait la suppression du français comme langue officielle de la JCI. Rappelons qu'alors, il y avait 3 langues officielles, le français, l'anglais et l'espagnol. Mais que, comme le faisait justement remarquer Bahadur, les Français ne représentaient que 8 704 membres dans l'effectif de la jeune chambre, soit 2,08% de cet effectif. Les Hispanisants représentaient 6 956 membres, soit 1,67% de l'effectif mondial, alors que l'Inde seule avait un effectif de 9 138 membres. Bien entendu, avoir des traductions simultanées pour des Français et des Espagnols coûtait dans le budget général de la jeune chambre des sommes conséquentes qui étaient réparties sur l'ensemble des membres et dont l'Inde faisait les frais, puisque, qu'on le veuille ou non, c'était les Indiens qui payaient en partie nos traductions simultanées. Bien entendu, cette question se posait alors que le prochain congrès mondial allait avoir lieu à Nice. Et j'ai été dans l'obligation de réagir en disant, vous vous rendez compte le tollé que ça va être si vous abordez cette question à Nice, où en particulier, il y aura de nombreux francophones d'Afrique qui seront présents. Ce à quoi il me fut répondu que non seulement le coût était en jeu, mais que, bien entendu, nos amis africains pourraient être sensibles au fait que les 3 langues officielles n'étaient que 3 langues du colonialisme. Résultat, on se retrouvait dans une situation où, si la question était abordée à Nice, ça risquait d'être un tollé général. Finalement, je demandais, avec l'appui du président Roy Bonassi, qui se soucie bien entendu de la bonne tenue de son prochain congrès mondial, que la question soit transmise au comité de planification à long terme, et la motion de Bahadur a été retirée et ma motion pour la présenter au comité de planification à long terme était adoptée. Ouf, première étape. Deuxième étape, entre-temps, je suis élu comme premier Français, comme vice-président exécutif, et puis désigné par le Bureau international comme membre du comité de planification à long terme. Là, nous nous réunissons à Tokyo du 7 au 11 mai 1974 et dès le 9 mai, bien entendu, la question de la langue est à nouveau posée. Le participant indien à nos travaux est Vimon Mehta, et lui carrément pose la question d'entrée d'une motion de maintien de l'anglais seul comme langue officielle de la jeune chambre. Donc, je reprends encore les arguments en disant que je comprends parfaitement le souci des Indiens, mais qu'il serait impensable de proposer une telle suppression de l'espagnol et du français, car nous devons nous étendre et nous développer dans ces pays, et que la force d'une chaîne étant celle de ses plus faibles maillons, nous devons à tout prix renforcer nos maillons faibles, francophones et hispanisants, pour pouvoir nous développer. Et voyant que, étant en minorité, puisque sur 17, nous sommes 2 Européens, je suis contraint de reconnaître que si on en reste là, le français va sauter. Je demande donc une interruption de séance qui est acceptée. Motion adoptée par le comité de planification à long terme et que l'on retrouve aujourd'hui mot pour mot dans les statuts de la jeune chambre. Je me permets de le lire. Je présente une motion demandant que, en ce qui concerne les langues officielles, toutes les langues officielles des pays dont sont issus les ONM sont réputées langues officielles de la JCI. Ça répondait à la question de Mehta qui soulevait le fait qu'il était insultant pour certains de devoir subir des langues dites post-colonialistes alors qu'eux avaient souffert du joug du colonialisme. Ensuite, je poursuivais. Archives. Le secrétariat de la JCI étant situé dans un pays anglophone, les archives officielles de la JCI seront rédigées en langue anglaise. Correspondance, les langues anglaises, françaises et espagnoles seront les langues principalement utilisées par la JCI pour sa communication interne et externe. D'autres langues de correspondance pourraient être reconnues comme telles si l'effectif du ONM dépasse 50 000 membres individuels et si une langue donnée est la langue officielle d'au moins 10 ONM. Une telle décision sera soumise préalablement au vote de l'Assemblée générale. Ce faisant, je marquerai le soutien des Japonais, qui était indispensable pour passer. À la lecture de cette proposition, il y eut un long silence, puis le président en exercice, J. Smith, qui était président mondial en 1974, déclara son soutien et demandant que la motion soit votée. Et à ma grande joie, elle fut votée à l'unanimité. Elle est aujourd'hui mot à mot dans les statuts. Ma surprise advint qu'à l'issue de ces discussions, je fus pris à part par 3 anciens présidents mondiaux qui me dirent « T'inquiète pas pour ton élection à la présidence mondiale, je crois que là tu as marqué les points qui feront qu'elle sera très facile. » Voilà ce que je voulais dire.
We were celebrating our 100 years. And as you know, our organization was established, initiated in 1950. In 2015, we our new century. We were starting our new century. This was also special for the work, not just for JCI, because in 2015 we were discussing 2015 global goals and how we will be reshaping our work in 2013. It was a global agenda for the United Nations. In September 2015, all countries, presidents, and leaders of countries come together and they signed an agreement, 2013 global. It was a special moment to have our members or organization as a part to contribute to this work. And we decided to prepare an exemplary booklet to showcase how our organization is creating and how contribute to the change of. And we went through the projects and we saw that there were thousands of projects really impactful all around the world. It was not easy to showcase all these thousands of projects, and decided to come out with an idea of 100 projects for 100th anniversary. And we prepared a very nice special printable booklet with 100 exemplar projects for 100th anniversary, and had a chance to hand over that one to United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon during that period. We heard from himself that not JCI is in intention to create a change or to move forward, but this showcase that you are already there. You have the commitment, and your words or projects shows that in the future also you will be a part of this change making. Presidential year in JCI is a very special period. It's a 1-year leadership, and during that period, I had also a challenge to travel to 100 countries for 100th anniversary. Each visit, each activity was really unique. So during traveling, we faced a lot of different challenges that built our leadership skills in global level as well. As you know, events are crucial for our organization, and to have events moving smoothly to bring members all together for experience sharing is a very special moment. I had an opportunity and a challenge for that site as well, to have a European conference in Istanbul in 2015. You will remember, was a really great opportunity, but also a challenge. The event, we had to change a couple of times the venue, the city, the place. That was creating a lot of question marks about how the event is going to happen. First, the intention was to host the event in Izmir, in Kuşadası, then it moved to Izmir. Then eventually decided to have that one in Istanbul. This always a part of organization committee, national organization, the team who is involved in all these preparations, as well as headquarters. At one point, we see that members' involvement was not much as was expected, and understand that we will face some challenge during that period. And headquarters or executive committee as well decided to involve headquarters more to this event to make it successful smoothly. I was visiting one of our partners, with ICC International Chamber of ICC International Chamber of Commerce, based in Paris, in France. Had chance to come a couple of times for these visits to France, and understand that I need to come back to Istanbul to meet our national leadership, to have an agreement on events, and to move forward to have a good activity for our members, and to have the involvement of a national organization. Fly back from Paris to Istanbul, drive for 2 or 3 hours to Sakarya. Had a good time meeting with the national president, discussing about what is this organization, involvement of members from JCI Turkey in the team in order to make it successful. Otherwise, we will hosting an event without members will not be meaningful. It will be really meaningless. And had a deal agreement, and then I drive back to airport and fly from Istanbul to Washington DC. We had a special meeting there with our partners. So just a 1 hour meeting required me to fly back from Paris to Istanbul, drive, meet national president, discuss, agree, and then fly back to Washington DC to continue. My point is, in two sides, members is very crucial. In one side where we presented our 100th project to Secretary General, members were creating that change, who were initiating the projects. Also in local level where we are hosting events, members are the ones who really bring value, who are there to make the exchange. So everything that we do or we have to do has to keep the relevance with members' expectation, and it has to have the involvement of yourself. This is very crucial, and sometimes it may require to fly miles, or may be required to go somewhere just for a 1 hour meeting. But when you have members, the team aligned, then you have something moving forward, at least to support the development of the organization, as well as the development of the members. So this is one example that I want to share.
Now let me tell you this, my friends, this is very important to know. Prior to joining JCI, I had never traveled out of my country before. So my first trip out of Nigeria was for a JCI conference in Monastir, Tunisia. Now I had to look for the money to be able to make this conference. So I had to save, I had to empty everything I had in my bank account, because I wanted to experience a JCI conference. But you know what? It was at that conference that my eyes were truly open to the beautiful opportunities of the organization. to how beautiful JCI is, how much it is that you can connect to 100 people, 300 people, 400 people at one meeting without necessarily traveling to their countries. I mean, I connected with people from more than 40, 50 countries just at one conference, and that was so beautiful. And therefore, when I came back, I didn't feel the pain of my bank account to be able to travel. I started tapping into the opportunities that I saw while in Monastir, Tunisia. And that was how my passion for internationalism in JCI grew. And since then, I never looked back. I never missed any conference of the African and Middle East. I never missed any World Congress going forward. And then I connected so much. But let me tell you one of the challenges also that I had internationally. When I was running for the office of JCI Executive Vice President, it was quite turbulent because we had two candidates from Africa and the Middle East, and people thought, what's going to happen? But because I have learned to leave and do JCI activities beyond position, I wasn't really worried about what the outcome would be. And what I tell the young people in the organization is, let your passion for JCI go beyond position, go beyond the titles you want. Let your passion for JCI be for such a friendship you make, the projects you get involved in, the connections, the trainings, the fact that there's a lot of cultural mix, learning, people from different races, different religions, different tongues, different perspectives, and you're meeting together to be able to learn something. So when that happened in 2011, at the World Congress in Brussels, I was ordinarily supposed to get challenged and worried that I had another candidate from my area who was there. But I took my mind away from the position and the title, and I focused on my friends, the trainings and the beauty of the Congress and the connection of people from all over the world coming together. But finally, I got elected, and that drove me to say, look, having been elected, you have to lead by example. And that was when I realized that for you to be a true leader in the organization, you have to be a humble person. You must be able to connect with people from all over the world. It doesn't matter what your culture is, your personality, your secretaries are, to meet people from different cultures and different connections. You need to actually bring yourself, to meet with them. You need to begin to change your perspective and see what are the good things you can derive from these individuals. And that was how I grew. But again, on the final note, when I was JCI president, or before I got elected, one of the challenges, or one of the things people told me would be a big challenge for me, was being able to travel because I had a Nigerian passport. And of course, there are a lot of limitations as to the number of countries I could visit. And therefore, we came up with a fair calculation. So, okay, maybe I can do 35, maybe 40 countries, just maybe if we work hard. But believe me, I traveled to 59 countries. And I mean 59 countries where I visited as JCI president, not transiting countries. And why did that happen? I challenged myself and said, look, now that the expectation is 40 countries, you can make it 59. You can make it 50. And I had to work hard, put my team together and told myself I represent a global organization of young people. And the only way they can feel me is if I'm able to travel to as many countries as possible. So it was a struggle, but we pushed through it because I had to connect with people and ask questions from different countries what we need to do. And because of the friendship I had in those countries, sometimes I had to contact people unofficially to seek for their support and their advice on best ways to get visas quickly and what I need to do in the countries. And it worked like magic. So friendship helped. There was a challenge, but friendship made it possible. So on a final note, I would just like to say there will be challenges, but I want every young JCI member out there to look beyond the title and the positions that you occupy. Look beyond that and look at the passion, look at the connection, look at the beauty of the organization, look at the friendship, the trainings, the projects, the fact that at a single JCI World Congress, you can meet people from 110 countries, 105 countries. It's something that does not come to JCI present to us. And we should see that as a huge, huge opportunity. And I encourage those of you who are yet to tap into the international opportunities within JCI to begin to think about that. Because when you do that, the world becomes a global village for you.
I think one of the biggest lessons of leadership that I have learned over my career is really just how to be an authentic leader. how to just be you, to not try and be somebody else. And it kind of came to a head, I suppose, when I was JCI president. As a female president, I was the 72nd world president, and I was only the 4th female president. And so, of course, I got a lot of questions about what does it mean to be a female president? How did you get to be a female president? And of course, there were a lot of my male colleagues around me. There were a lot of, 68 past presidents that were all men. A lot of our advisors and mentors in the organization, of course, are men that I had to interact with. And there's a lot of pressure, of course, in that situation to be what they expect you to be regal, to be presidential, to be authoritative, to be direct, to be whatever it is, right? And I struggled a lot those first couple of months of how do I step into this role? How do I fulfill their expectations? And it really came to kind of a silly decision today when it was early in the year, and it was actually at the European Presidents meeting, National Presidents meeting, and it was the gala dinner at the end of the weekend. And I was in my hotel room and I was getting ready, and I had a black gala dress. And of course, it was February, so it was cool. It was cold. We were in Ireland. And so I wanted to take a shawl. I wanted to take a wrap with me to keep my arms warm. And I had 2 that I could choose from, and one was black and one was purple. And for those of you who know me and who know anything about my year as president, purple was my team color. Purple is my favorite color. I love purple, and I always have ever since I was a little girl. And so as I'm standing in front of the mirror, getting ready to walk out of my hotel room, I'm trying on both of these wraps. I'm trying on the black one, and I'm trying on the purple one. And I'm looking at the purple one and thinking, I really like this purple one because it's my favorite color, and I like the way that it looks. And then I put on the black one and thought, well, but maybe this looks more presidential. This looks more authoritative. This looks more like my male colleagues who will be wearing a tux. And I really, it seems like a really silly question or really silly decision, and something that probably most of the people in that room didn't even notice. But I sat there and I struggled with that because I was thinking, do I need to be what everybody else expects me to be, or do I want to show my own style and my own personality? And ultimately, I did choose the purple wrap. And I wore the purple wrap that night, and I felt fantastic wearing the purple wrap that night. But what it taught me was that it's okay to be you. And in a leadership position, we always compare ourselves to other people. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because we see good qualities in other leaders. We see bad qualities in other leaders that we want to emulate or that we want to stay away from. And those are all good things. But at the core of what it is that we're doing, we need to be authentically us, because when we shine through, when our personality comes out, then people see that and people respect that and people connect with that. And so you don't have to be the best speaker from the podium. You don't have to be the best strategist. You don't have to be the best at anything. You just have to be the best at being you. And people will respect that. And people will understand that, and people will accept that. And in that way, you can feel comfortable as who you are. You can feel comfortable in your own skin, and you can feel comfortable being you and being the best you that you can be.
Well, we're covering a span of some 50 years, John. I was president in 1973. That's almost 50 years ago. So the memories are fading, but I started JC as nobody. I started as a very shy, introverted individual, and I was able to
improve myself through the training I got and through the example of previous members of the organization, some of whom hold high positions in the country. Some have died, of course. And that initial shyness has disappeared. And if I have one fault now, is that I talk too much. But this is part of the JC training. When I was a young JC, there were no female members, only men. So it's to get used to the fact that you're talking to men and women. Also, in those days, you had, when I went on the international level, you have communist countries and, of course, Western countries. Today, we don't talk in those terms. There are JCs I gather in Russia, perhaps. So in my time, there were no such thing. I remember when I went to New Zealand as president, and I was asked by the press what I thought of female membership. And they always threw me out of the country because that was unthinkable in New Zealand at that time. But now, of course, they have ladies. I think they have more lady members than men. I believe they have had lady international presidents as well. But it has been a long road. I mean, I'm talking in 1960 when I first joined. And you must have been a very young boy at that time. I hope you worked that out yourself. But I really have enjoyed the trip. A lot of people joined in my time. Some dropped out partway. But it has been a magnificent journey. And I've learned so much out of it. So everything I have, everything I've been, everything I've achieved, I owe it to the JC. And it bothers me that I hear now, I'm not sure, that the organization has decreased in numbers and also decreased in its morality and intention. I've been told the organization now has overage members as associate members, which is one way of getting one of the most fundamental precepts of JCs, that it is a young people's organization. It's one way to come through the back door. Your associate members, if not to be heard. But I've been, I've traveled over 60 countries promoting the organization after I learned, and it has been a wonderful effort. I've done my best. Don't know what I remembered for in the Far East, where I worked mostly, but I do recall many happy memories of being in those places. I know that the JC, the precept, the fundamental teachings of JCs must have remained the same. What Henry Gissenbeer founded was an organization of young people, and I must emphasize young, under the age of 40, but from the US. And the idea is to make them better people, to train. The organization was founded based on two precepts. One, young people, and two, that they would have training. Two things. I don't know nowadays whether the organization is training by doing. And what I do know, that the organization has encouraged the participation of older people in JCs. I'm told by John Claude and others that some of the major decisions of JCI are made by people over the age of 50, not 40, sometimes over 60. I recall when they started. It was started by a young person from the Philippines and one from the United States. And they swore to make the JC organization their property. And they worked hard at it. I told them it could be done, but it was done. And today the organization is really floundering around, I think, because the world president was here last year, and the JCI vice president were here after meetings, which I was invited to Kingston. And they told me that the ability to run for office is very frustrating because they have no say. You go through the motions of promoting yourself and answering questions, but then at the end of it all, other people make the decisions. If JCI continues like this, it is going to fail. Because what has kept the organization thriving and flourishing is the fact it was based on such wonderful principles that you take young people and make them make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, improve themselves, and come again and do better. If these young people are not allowed to make the most fundamental decisions in JCI, as one most in my day, you had elections. Of course, there's always some politics in elections. People like each other, they don't, and they vote for their friends. People campaign. I gather that nowadays the president is unopposed because he's selected years in advance. So he or she knows. That's a great tragedy. Once that situation exists, I'm afraid that the JC organization cannot thrive. It can carry on, it can have banquets, it can have congresses, it can have conferences, but the philosophy would have been so eroded that you first have to get back to square one, build back that essential philosophy for thriving before you can move on from there. So this to me, you ask me my frustration, this would be the most frustrating thing. And I hope I can see some correction in the near future, or in the future, if I'm not here.
Bonsoir à toutes et tous. Merci beaucoup, cher président, pour ces témoignages et bienvenue dans cette session d'échange avec nos vastes présidents mondiaux. Je suis Maël de la Jeune Chambre économique du Finistère et je serai chargé d'animer cette session avec Eric. Bonsoir Eric.
Oui, bonsoir à toutes et à tous. Je suis Eric de la Jeune Chambre économique de Nice-Côte d'Azur et avec Maël, eh bien, nous allons avoir le plaisir d'animer pour vous ce soir cette session. Je suis ravi d'être là et je vous souhaite à tous de passer un excellent moment à nos côtés.
Merci beaucoup Eric. Alors également dans l'équipe d'animation ce soir, nous avons la chance d'avoir deux interprètes avec nous. Cela va nous permettre de pouvoir interagir en anglais et en français bien sûr avec nos vastes présidents mondiaux présents. Pour ce soir, à l'interprétation, nous avons Julie. Bonsoir Julie.
Bonsoir les garçons, bonsoir à tous. Julie de la Jeune Chambre économique de Montpellier et donc je vous traduirai les échanges qui nous parviendront en anglais pour que vous les ayez en français.
Merci beaucoup Julie. Et ce soir, en traduction, en interprétation, nous avons également Marcus. Bonsoir Marcus.
Bonsoir, moi je suis Marcus de la JCI de Châteauroux. Donc je suis là pour faire les traductions de français en anglais. D'anglais en français, pardon.
Non, du français en anglais.
Français en anglais, pardon. Donc, so I'm Marcus from the JCI in Châteauroux, and I'm here to do all the translation from French to English.
Merci beaucoup Marcus. Alors pour votre information, Julie et Marcus vont nous faire les traductions de cette session en live. C'est une première. C'est un exercice difficile qui couvrira à la fois donc la conférence de zone Europe ainsi que la Convention nationale française. Pour ce faire, nous avons demandé à nos vastes présidents d'être synthétiques dans leurs réponses pour que vous puissiez leur poser un maximum de questions. Donc ça permet de renouveler les attentions qu'on vous a déjà données. Donc n'hésitez pas à poser toutes vos questions dans le chat. Soyez également aussi synthétiques et aussi n'hésitez pas à nommer les présidents.
Okay, so During this this session, we'd like to thank the past presidents for their testimonials. We'll also be moving on to a Q&A session later. For this, there are a few house rules. So we'd like you to ask the questions directed to the past presidents. So could you write the names of the presidents before asking the questions? And would the past presidents please keep their responses down to about 45 seconds in order for us to ask the maximum amount of questions.
Alors, avant de lancer les échanges, un dernier mot de remerciement pour nos past présidents mondiaux qui nous font le plaisir et le privilège d'être parmi nous ce soir. Un grand merci à vous pour vos témoignages et votre temps. Donc, comme promis maintenant, sans plus attendre, vous allez pouvoir interagir avec eux. Eric, aurais-tu une première question pour nos past présidents mondiaux?
Oui, afin de commencer cette première série de questions, donc la première question s'adresse à l'ensemble de nos présidents et c'est de savoir en fait quel est votre meilleur souvenir pendant votre année de présidence mondiale.
Okay, so this is a question which we'll be asking to all of the presidents. What is the best memory you have from your time as president?
Carl, can you tell us your best memory as a past president, please?
Certainly. My best memory is the growth of the organization. It was an individual recognition program that was successful beyond our imagination. And it was just great to see so many new JCs in our organization and to see that culminate in a record number of JCs at our World Congress in Manila that year.
Donc, mon meilleur souvenir en tant que past-président de la GCI a été la croissance importante de nos membres grâce à un programme de reconnaissance individuelle qui est allé au-delà de nos attentes et de nos espérances avec un nombre record lors du Congrès mondial de Manille.
Okay, and next, Dawn, what was your best memory from your time as president?
Thank you for the question. I think my best memory was just being able to experience so many different cultures around the world and to really feel the personality of our members and the different chapters and countries. They're all so special and unique in their own way and gave me very special memories.
Merci beaucoup pour la question. Mon souvenir mémorable a été réellement de rencontrer des différentes cultures tout autour de la planète, de rencontrer personnellement nos membres et de ressentir leur personnalité, tous aussi spécifiques et uniques qu'ils soient.
And finally, Chiara, what is your best memory from your time as president?
Bonsoir. Well, it's like when someone asks you which is your favorite countries. Of course, all are specials because all of them have something unique. And same thing is for memories. But if I must summarize it in a word, probably I would choose hope. The hope that I received by traveling around the world and meeting so many members, passionate members, and the hope that I hope we gave by being the first gender balanced board of directors. I know it helps also many women in believing more in the future they can have in this organization.
Merci. Bonsoir. Demander quel est son souvenir particulier, mémorable, c'est comme vous demandez quel est le meilleur, votre pays favori. Ils sont tous spécifiques et uniques, c'est compliqué. Je dirais l'espoir tout autour du monde, l'espoir en rencontrant des membres passionnés qui nous donnent espoir, qui nous portent espoir. Et surtout l'espoir et la fierté d'avoir eu le premier comité directeur qui fasse vraiment preuve d'équité entre les genres avec autant de femmes. Voilà, l'espoir.
Alors, deuxième question pour tous. Après cela, la question que certaines personnes se posent est de savoir en fait comment vous vous êtes dit un jour, je veux devenir président mondial de la GCI.
Okay, so it's a question for Carl. How did you ask yourself one day when you started? Well, when would you like? How did you ask yourself? When did you want to become a world president of the JCI? So, how did you ask yourself? I want to become a president of the JCI.
Well, first of all, every step in my career as a JC, I never even thought about the next step as far as running for office. It was always to try to do the best thing for the chapter or for the national organization that I was in at the time. And but others would always encourage me, well, you got to try for a higher office. You got to aspire for a higher office. And so finally I would run for vice president. And as a matter of fact, I lost twice, once for executive vice president, once for president. But people encouraged me and gave me the incentive to try again and to work harder and work more effective for the year before you ran again, and it worked. People still respect effort and hard work, and so therefore I was eventually successful for each of the steps along the way. But I didn't have that aspiration to start with.
Disons que chaque étape de ma vie à la GCI n'a pas forcément été préméditée ou anticipée. J'ai toujours essayé de faire de mon mieux et c'est ce que je continue à faire. Et je me suis rendu compte qu'avec cette perspective, finalement, j'avais gagné le respect et ça s'est fait. Puisque
Roxy, come here.
Les membres GCI respectent le travail dur et la passion. Et c'est ce qui m'a permis d'être président, mais ce n'était pas prémédité, ça s'est fait petit à petit. Dans l'idée de toujours apporter le maximum à quelque niveau que ce soit local, national ou même après international.
Okay, and over to you, Chiara. How and why did you take the decision to become a president?
Actually, although I was pretty a newborn when President Carr served as president, I had a similar experience. It was not really my idea. I was always asked, somehow pushed from fellow JCI members to run as president. And that was something that made me feel the responsibility because you know, before me, just 2 women had the chance to serve as JCI president. And there were 13 years between the first one and the second one, and 13 years before the second one and myself. So when the opportunity arrived, I thought, well, if I have this opportunity, I have the responsibility to accept it. And that's the reason why I decided to run as president. And by the way, also I was candidate twice as executive vice president.
Un petit peu comme pour Carl, ça n'a pas forcément été mon idée, mais j'ai été poussée par d'autres membres GCI qui m'ont vue à ce poste-là. Ça m'a permis de ressentir toute la responsabilité que ça impliquait. Seulement 2 femmes avant moi avaient été présidentes mondiales et 15 ans séparaient chacune de leur présidence. Et d'ailleurs, 15 ans séparaient la précédente présidente de ma présidence. Et j'ai compris ce jour-là que si j'avais la possibilité d'être présidente mondiale, j'avais également la responsabilité d'accepter cette charge-là. Et je l'ai acceptée avec plaisir.
So, Ismaili, how and why did you take the decision to become a president?
Good evening to everyone. It's a learning opportunity, first of all. As we mentioned in JCI, we continue to develop through all the opportunities that organization brought to us, and where it can be better to go through this leadership school and all the learning opportunities. So for me, the learning by doing experience, as well as leading by example, expectation that organization showcase to us is crucial. I believe leading by example for all young citizens in Turkey to go through each step in JCI helped a lot also to showcase that it's possible for them also.
Bonsoir à tous. Ce sont les possibilités et les opportunités qui nous poussent à continuer à progresser sans cesse. Et finalement, quelle meilleure opportunité de continuer à s'améliorer et à progresser qu'en acceptant la charge et la responsabilité d'être président mondial. Vous le savez, mon mot d'ordre, c'est « leading by example », diriger par l'exemple, montrer l'exemple, toujours. Et finalement, en tant que président de JCI, quel meilleur exemple, quelle meilleure façon de montrer à tous les jeunes du monde qu'ils peuvent y arriver et que c'est quelque chose qui est ouvert à eux aussi.
So, Dawn, how and why did you take the decision to become a president?
Sure. Excuse me. For me, it was about continuing to give back to the organization, to continue that train of empowerment and development opportunities for young people. There were a lot of people that encouraged me and supported me throughout my journey, similar to the 3 past presidents that have spoken before me. And I wanted to continue to make sure those opportunities were available, to encourage our members to step out of their comfort zones, to help them see the potential inside of them so that they could continue to grow and develop and become the future leaders of our organization.
Un petit peu comme pour les 3 précédents, enfin les 3 présidents qui m'ont précédé, j'ai été poussée par les autres membres. Et mon mot d'ordre est de continuer de toujours rendre à l'organisation tout ce qu'elle m'a apporté, continuer à développer les opportunités pour les jeunes gens, les encourager, vraiment les pousser à sortir de leur zone de confort, à saisir toutes les opportunités qui se présentent à eux et à grandir de ce fait, continuer à se former et à grandir.
Alors, une dernière question avant de passer aux questions individuelles. Et déjà, merci pour tous ces éléments de réponse, cher président, past président mondiaux. La dernière collective, pour l'instant, c'est de savoir en fait qu'est-ce que vous n'avez pas pu faire pendant votre année de présidence, mais que vous auriez vraiment voulu réaliser malgré tout.
Firstly, I would like to thank all of the past presidents for their time, for their answers. A question before we pass on to the live Q&A. So is there something which you wanted to do during your time as president, which you couldn't do? And this is for Carl.
Of course, there's always a lot of things that you would really like to do during your term. And for me, it was a constant desire to reach the person in the back of the room that was actually emulating me when I first joined the JCs. That
I was not self-assured. I was shy, and I always thought somebody else was best suited to answer the question or do the job. And so I wanted to touch the life of the person in the back of the room who appeared to be in the same position, that they weren't sure of themselves. They hadn't tried a lot of things, so they didn't have a lot of experience. And I just wanted to tell them that I'm with you. I was just like you when I started in JC's, and all you have to do is to go out and get involved in a project and take the responsibility, and things will happen. But there's just not enough time in 1 year to reach as many as you want. So you're always desiring to try to reach more people and get them involved in their own communities so that they can have the same satisfaction of participation that I had. So that would be my one thing that I wanted to see more of.
Il y a tellement de choses que je n'ai pas pu faire et que j'aurais aimé faire, bien entendu. Si je devais en garder qu'un, j'essaye toujours de toucher la personne qui est assise au fond de la salle, loin là-bas. À mes débuts, quand je suis arrivée à la GCI, j'étais extrêmement timide. Je ne savais pas prendre la parole en public. J'avais toujours l'impression qu'il y avait forcément quelqu'un d'autre de mieux placé que moi, qui avait plus d'expérience, qui serait bien meilleur que moi à ma place. Et finalement, ça a changé. Et ce que je veux dire à la personne qui est au fond de la salle, là-bas, loin, c'est « je suis avec vous. J'étais comme vous. Et maintenant, j'ai progressé. Lancez-vous. Essayez. Sortez de votre zone de confort. Osez-le. » Et voilà. Bon, bien entendu, il y a beaucoup de personnes dans le fond de la salle, partout où l'on va, et pas assez de temps en un an. Donc, si je devais garder une frustration de mon année, ce serait celle-ci.
Okay, Jara. So, was there something that you wished you could have done during you wanted to do during your time as president, but unfortunately you couldn't complete in your mandate?
Just one? Plenty, of course. I agree with President Carl. But again, if I must choose one, I would say, having served as third female president, I would have loved to have the opportunity to have a conversation with both my predecessor as women. I had the pleasure to talk with Madame Jennifer Yu, but not really with Karen Anton-Fellis. But you know what? I made it happen this year. Last month, I interviewed her from Italy to New Zealand in my TV show, because when you serve as JCI president, is 1 year to lead, but the entire life to serve JCI, because we are life members.
Une seule? Il y en a plein, bien entendu. Comme l'a dit Carl, j'en aurais des centaines. Si je devais en garder qu'une, ça aurait été l'opportunité, en tant que femme présidente, d'avoir une conversation avec mes prédécesseurs. Et cette opportunité, je l'ai eue. En fait, je l'ai eue l'année dernière dans mon show TV. Il faut quand même garder en tête une chose, c'est que être président à la GCI, c'est 1 an pour être à la tête, mais mais toute une vie pour servir l'organisation.
Okay, so Ismaili, was there something that you wanted to do during your time as president, but unfortunately couldn't complete during your mandate?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Marcus. 1 year, as my friends also emphasized, dear presidents, it's very short. We want to accomplish a lot of things during that period. But one thing that would be possible to visit all national organizations. I tried to do it hardly. It was 100th anniversary, and I target to visit 100 countries. But as you know, there is more than 100 countries available So I would love to visit every single national organization. Especially nowadays, we see that it's more and more important.
Merci pour la question. Si je devais garder une frustration, une chose que j'aurais aimé pouvoir achever en tant que président et que je n'ai pas pu, c'est visiter toutes les organisations nationales. Comme je vous l'ai raconté tout à l'heure, ma présidence a eu lieu une année particulière, les 100 ans de notre organisation, et donc j'ai visité une centaine de pays. Mais nous sommes présents dans plus de 100 pays et j'ai pas pu tous les visiter. C'est quelque chose que j'aurais aimé faire parce que les organisations nationales sont extrêmement importantes à la GCI.
Okay, Dawn. So, was there something that you wished you could have done during your presidency, but unfortunately you couldn't complete during your mandate?
So similar to my colleagues, I wished I could have traveled more or met new members. But the one thing I'm going to talk about is, of course, in our plan of action, we always have things, we never fully complete our plan of action, and any president, local, national, international, there are always things that you don't get to at the end of the year. And I started a conversation with my executive team about digital opportunities, online membership opportunities, and wish that I could have pushed that conversation a little bit farther. In today's world, of course, it's being pushed by necessity. And now all of a sudden we have online trainings and we have online opportunities and these types of digital connections. But it was something that I tried to start the conversation back in 2017 and wished it could have gone a little bit farther, but we had other priorities at the time.
Comme l'ont dit mes prédécesseurs, oui, bien entendu, voyager plus et rencontrer beaucoup plus de membres, ça va de soi. Si je devais choisir une frustration, l'année de présidence passe très vite et on a rarement le temps d'aller au bout de notre plan d'action, même quasiment jamais. J'aurais aimé développer plus, aller plus loin dans tout ce qui est développement digital, que ce soit au niveau de la formation, au niveau des opportunités, au niveau des rencontres. Aujourd'hui, cette année, nous y avons été contraints par la pandémie. En 2017, on n'a pas eu cette contrainte-là. On a essayé de le développer, mais peut-être pas assez. J'aurais aimé aller plus loin.
Merci pour tous ces éléments de réponse et tous ces conseils, ces points de vue que vous pouvez prodiguer à nos membres et observateurs qui vous regardent. The next question is for Chiara. What was the best advice you got to give to the 2014 president when you left your position?
Cette question est donc pour Chiara. Quel est le meilleur conseil que vous avez pu donner au président de 2014 après que vous ayez fini votre mandat?
Don't listen to your predecessor. No, I'm joking at all, of course. President Shambhaskaran and I are very good friends. So, of course, what I told him is that the truth is that during the day, the president is surrounded by many people, but by night, the president is always alone with his or her thoughts. So I told him, you know that no matter how long the night will be, when you will wake up, you will know you can call me.
Il ne faut jamais écouter ses prédécesseurs. Voilà. Non, je rigole. Mon successeur est un très très bon ami. Pour être honnête, ce que je lui ai dit, c'est, pardon, durant la journée, le président est entouré par énormément de personnes. Mais la nuit, il est seul. Il est seul à réfléchir, il est seul avec ses pensées et la nuit peut être longue. Mais quelle que soit la longueur de la nuit et la longueur de ce moment seul, sache que le lendemain matin, il fera jour et que tu pourras m'appeler, quel que soit le moment, je serai là.
Quel beau message. Merci, Chiara. Thank you, Chiara, for this message. Next question is for Ismail. You had some difficulty with the European Area Conference in 2015. Looking back, what were the positive things that you came out of that challenge?
La prochaine question est pour Ismaël. Vous avez eu quelques difficultés avec la Convention de zone Europe en 2015, mais maintenant, avec le recul, quelle a été la chose positive dont vous vous souvenez à travers ces difficultés?
All the challenges and difficulties makes you stronger. So this was a great opportunity for that. So having accomplished the event successfully, having members from all around Europe enjoying the event in Istanbul, and also having the organization being accomplished with all the targets for Executive Vice President and JCI headquarters, I believe was the success of that. It was a team effort, national organization, local organization, this time involvement of headquarters and myself to be there was another good opportunity, I may say, throughout that experience.
Chaque challenge, chaque difficulté nous rend plus forts, donc ne serait-ce que juste pour cette raison-là, ça a été un succès. Et c'était plutôt positif. Ça a été compliqué, mais nous avons réussi à avoir les membres, nous avons réussi à avoir un très beau congrès. Ça a été un effort de l'équipe. J'ai pu être là. Donc, pour moi, ce sont que des succès et il n'y a que des choses positives de ce point de vue-là à retenir.
Thank you, Ismail. Next question for Carl.
Prochaine question pour Carl. Sorry.
What are the main changes between GCI during your time and now?
Quels ont été les changements les plus visibles, les plus impressionnants entre votre temps à la GCI et le temps présent?
Well, by far the biggest change is the membership. At the time, at the finish of our Congress in 1978, we paid for 568,000 members. Today, we were told in Tallinn that the membership was 152,000 members. So dramatic change in the numbers impacts the number of things that you can do. And so therefore, I'd have to say that the biggest change is membership. We didn't have advisors in those days that were involved in all the decisions. So I would say that was a big difference also. We could work with the staff and the Secretary General. By the way, the Secretary General then was Carol Bouchard, who just passed away. And I didn't hear if I would imagine Jean-Claude mentioned it, but in case he didn't, I didn't hear. In case he didn't, we pay our last respect for Carol Bouchard, who was a great Secretary General. But in any case, we would work with the staff and we'd come up with who was be assigned where, what our main priorities were. Of course, there's always a presidential priority, and you develop something that's going to be meaningful for the organization. I would imagine that still happens today. But the biggest change was in the membership and what we were able to do with hundreds of thousands more members.
Je dirais que le changement le plus important, c'est vraiment le nombre de membres. Entre 1978 et aujourd'hui, la croissance a été considérable. Et qui dit beaucoup plus de membres dit un impact bien plus fort et surtout beaucoup plus de choses, d'actions qui peuvent être réalisées dans les commissions. La différence aussi peut résider dans le fait que nous n'avions pas forcément de conseillers investis, oui, dans les décisions que nous prenions. Bien entendu, le président n'est jamais seul, il est toujours entouré de toute une team, mais beaucoup moins structuré qu'elle ne l'est aujourd'hui. Donc c'est un changement notable et je voudrais rendre hommage à Karl Bouchard, qui était secrétaire général et qui nous a récemment quittés. Je ne sais pas si ça a été mentionné précédemment. Voilà. Donc, le plus grand des changements notables pour moi entre 1978 et aujourd'hui est le nombre de ses membres.
Thank you, Karl. La prochaine question est pour Dawn. Et en fait, on sait que tu aimes porter le violet, alors peut-être que ce sera le conseil, mais sinon, quel serait le meilleur conseil pour nos membres et observateurs, donc futurs membres, nos futurs leaders?
Okay, so the next question is for you, Dawn. We know that you like to wear purple, and is perhaps a very good piece of advice. But what advice would you give to new members and observers for the movement, in the movement?
My number one piece of advice for any member, whether they're a new member or a 10-year member, is to experience the international aspect of JCI. Go to an international event, whether it's a JCI area conference or the World Congress, or even just going to a neighboring country's national convention, but just experience that international flavor, because that's really one of the very special things about who we are as an organization.
Mon premier et principal conseil que je pourrais donner à tout membre, d'ailleurs, qu'il soit jeune membre, observateur ou membre plus expérimenté ou ancien, serait d'explorer la dimension internationale. Vous n'avez pas forcément besoin d'aller très loin. Vous pouvez aller dans le pays d'à côté, mais vraiment, aller goûter à la saveur de l'international. C'est l'une des choses véritablement spécifiques et inouïes de notre organisation, donc ne passez pas à côté.
Thank you, Don. Désolé, j'avais le micro coupé. Donc, une nouvelle question qui a été posée par l'une de nos past présidentes nationales et qui aimerait vous poser donc à tous. How did you deal with your past presidency?
Comment avez-vous géré votre année de past président?
I guess this is for me. Did not have any problems with the past president. As a matter of fact, I utilized their talents and ability and wisdom whenever I could. I'd ask him questions and how did you deal with this, or how did you deal with whatever the question was. But they did not interfere in any way in what we were doing. And we were allowed to make our own mistakes and to try new things. And that's one of the great things about JCs. You have to get involved and you have to experience in order to develop wisdom. And trying and failing and trying again develops an awful lot of wisdom. And it gives you a lot of incentive to keep trying trying other things that will also benefit the organization. So that's my answer.
J'ai pas réellement eu de soucis avec mes past présidents. J'ai essentiellement utilisé leurs conseils, bénéficié de leurs compétences, de leur expérience. J'ai eu de la chance. Ils n'ont pas cherché à interférer dans ma présidence. Ils m'ont permis de faire mes propres erreurs, mes propres essais. Et c'est l'une des bonnes choses avec la JCI, c'est que vous êtes libre de tenter des trucs, d'essayer, quitte à ce que ça marche plus ou moins bien, de grandir par l'expérience et de grandir en compétences, de toujours garder espoir en sachant que vous ferez, quoi que vous fassiez, vous le ferez pour le bien de l'organisation et vous ferez toujours de votre mieux.
I guess it's my turn.
Yes, yes please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Do you need the question again? No,
no, I guess
okay.
I got it. Well, actually, I tried personally as a president who served in 2013, after my presidency, to be at disposal of the ones who came after me, because as I mentioned, I believe this is part of our job. Keep on serving our organization, not by imposing anything, but by being at disposal. And regarding my predecessor, actually, I went in many countries, and wherever I went, they welcomed me. And when I met them, I always asked them to be back at the World Congress, to be closer to us successors. And I even asked to engrave the names of all my predecessors on the presidential chain, because till 2013, the presidential chain was probably the only chain in the JCI world without the names of the presidents and the year in which they served. And this was a signal of respect, because it was a signal to show that we are bounded.
Personnellement, j'ai essayé en tant que présidente en 2014 d'être à la disposition de mon successeur, toujours. Parce que je considère que c'est une partie de notre travail en tant que membre, toujours servir l'organisation, et on la sert comment? En se mettant à son entière disposition. Donc c'est ce que j'ai fait. Concernant mes prédécesseurs, finalement, durant mon année de présidence, où que j'aille, ils m'ont toujours accueilli avec chaleur. Et je leur ai demandé de venir plus souvent aux congrès mondiaux, je leur ai demandé de se rapprocher de l'organisation, d'être un petit peu plus au contact. J'ai également demandé à ce que leur nom soit gravé sur la chaîne, sur le collier du président, parce que ce n'était pas le cas, et que pour moi, le fait de porter leur nom autour de mon cou, c'est leur prouver mon respect et une façon pour nous de leur montrer de la reconnaissance.
So, Ismaili, how did you deal with your year as past president?
So I'll answer with two perspectives. One was that during my presidential year, it was 100th anniversary. So we were going to celebrate 100th anniversary of our JCI movement. So this was not going to be possible without having every former presidents being involved in that celebration. So therefore, during the preparation, as well as in the World Congress in Kanazawa in 2015, we had a really good number of participation from past presidents. This was crucial and important, because it's every single year that contributes to have a 100th anniversary. And later on, in order to keep the contribution of presidents, we made a constitutional change to define a consultant's office for president. Because former presidents, as mentioned by Carl, has huge experience that may be available there to support. Also, while president visits different areas and regions, is always available to contribute. So we made a constitutional change, and this was approved by the General Assembly, that former presidents, past presidents may serve as a consultant to president. And in different areas, presidents were representing our organization, participating to some specific special events. And I believe this was crucial in order to bond the international partnerships. That's my answer. Thank you very much.
Alors, mon année de présidence a été particulière, vous le savez, puisqu'on a célébré les 100 ans de notre grand mouvement. De fait, les past présidents étaient extrêmement impliqués dans le projet et impliqués dans la célébration des 100 ans de la JCI. Ça a été d'ailleurs crucial et extrêmement important qu'ils puissent nous faire part de leurs expériences. Durant ma présidence, on a également amené un changement dans la Constitution, dans notre organisation, en créant réellement un engagement pour le past président. des obligations, comme représenter la GCI lors d'événements particuliers, nouer des partenariats au niveau de l'international. Et donc, on a consolidé leur position parce qu'on considère que leur expérience est importante et apporte.
The question again, or?
No, I think I'm okay. So my year as past president was a very special and very busy year. In addition to my normal duties, typical duties as past president, I was also serving as the chair of the JCI Strategic Planning Committee. And so the strategic plan that you currently have now was in formation during the year of 2018. And so I did my best to continue to help support the organization, to help support President Brian where he needed support and encouragement, or just needed me to fill in at a meeting or do an extra visitation. But then also making sure that our members' voices were heard, and that we had as much input from around the world as possible, so that the Strategic Planning Committee could do its job and present a well thought out, forward-thinking strategic plan at the World Congress in 2018.
Donc, mon année de passe président a été une année un peu spéciale et passablement occupée, puisque en plus d'être passe président, je siégeais au GCI Planning Committee en 2018, donc pour tout ce qui est planification stratégique, qui permet d'ailleurs au président en exercice d'avoir une vue à plus long terme et une vue plus globale. Donc j'ai essayé de faire de mon mieux pour à la fois aider l'organisation au sein de ce comité, et également être en support et venir en aide au président Brian qui est venu juste après moi. Voilà, donc une année très particulière, très occupée, mais très enrichissante.
Eh bien voilà, chers participants, j'espère que vous avez passé un bon moment. Les questions s'arrêtent là pour ce soir. Elles sont nombreuses et nous vous remercions de votre participation. Je rends la parole à Maëlle et je remercie toute l'équipe pour cette animation et vous tous pour vos questions. Merci.
I'd like to thank everyone and thank all the past presidents for their words. It's all of the questions which we have will be there for everyone to see. We've had numerous questions, and now I'd like to pass the over to Maëlle.
Oui, en effet, notre session d'échange arrive malheureusement à sa fin. Un grand merci à nouveau à tous nos past présidents mondiaux pour le temps accordé et la pertinence de vos propos. Merci Karl, merci Cara, merci Ismaël, merci Dawn. Merci à vous tous pour vos questions aussi qui ont provoqué des échanges vraiment très riches.
So I'd like to thank again all of the past presidents. I'd like to thank Carl, Chiara, Carl, Chiara, and all of the past presidents, sorry, and for their words, for their enriching, their insightful words, which will help move on the movement. So I'd like to thank you all.
Et aussi un grand bravo donc à Julie et à Marcus, nos deux traducteurs, je rappelle, qui étaient en live ce soir, ainsi qu'à Eric pour l'animation. Bravo à tous les trois. Il me reste juste à vous souhaiter une bonne soirée à vous tous, en espérant que vous avez apprécié ces vidéos, ces témoignages et ces moments d'échange. Je vous dis à très bientôt et je vous laisse avec la traditionnelle vidéo de Game of Thrones. Bye!
So I'd like to again thank everyone. I'd like to thank Marcus, Julie, and Eric, and for the work they have done this evening. And now we'll just be leaving you with the film for Game of Thrones.